Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman. This is one of two podcasts that we are doing this week. The other one focuses on the 4 graded stakes at Santa Anita, so make sure you check out that one. This podcast will focus on stakes races at Churchill Downs, Belmont Park, and one of the stakes races on the Prairie Meadows card Saturday night. Let's start with Churchill, Jim, and the 6th race is for 2-year-olds at 6 furlongs, the Grade 3 Bashford Manor. Closing weekend at Churchill, and this is the first time, I believe, that the 2-year-olds stretch out to a 6-furlong distance. And I tried to get creative in here, and I ended up coming back to the 4 Cinco Charlie. I like horses coming out of those 2-year-old sales. People usually trying to get a quick return on investment. This horse was a very impressive winner in the first start, and now comes back for a second start off an 82 buyer. And classic Asmussen pattern of a sharp 5-furlong workout followed by a real easy, slow-looking time-wise half-mile breeze. And I think this horse will run right back to that last race and win this. Cinco Charlie, the 4. Use him with the 5 Silver Hill, the 6 Lucky Player for a bit of a price, the other Asmussen. And then the 1 Skyway. He'll probably take a good bit of money off a really impressive debut win at Keeneland. And, you know, he could be good enough to win this, but I'm going with the 4 Cinco Charlie. What about you?
I like Cinco Charlie. I like Skyway, but I took the horse that has 3 races. Didn't run that well in the rollicking at Pimlico last time out, but government shutdown for John Robb. Brooks maiden at Pimlico and looked really good in doing it at 4.5 furlongs. And they ship him to Churchill, and I think just taking a stab here, because you never know about 2-year-olds and how much they improve. Cinco Charlie certainly has a shot, and I think it's between the 4 horses, Skyway, government shutdown, Cinco Charlie, and Silver Hill possibly with Brett Calhoun. You don't know how good that horse is coming from Lone Star, but they did. Brett Calhoun just did ship one last week that won easily.
Yes, she was very impressive. So, the debutante.
Yeah, so that he could go 2 for 2 here. So I wouldn't throw out Silver Hill because Calhoun's a tough trainer and they don't ship them up here for fun. So. Wide open race, I think, but I'm going to take government shutdown on top of those other 3.
8th race is the Grade 2 Firecracker, 3-year-olds and up going a flat mile on the turf. And you get Silver Max coming back off a layoff here. Probable favorite, I would think. What's your pick?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Silver Max, but I think he's been off since Breeders' Cup. So, but you look at the class edge. The horse that I like here is 5 for 7 at Churchill is Regally Ready. I love more than Ready's on the turf, and probably, obviously, a step below the others in class. I like Silver Max, I like Regally Ready, but where I went is Nicky Sandcastle. Nicky Sandcastle last time out beat Mr. Mardi Gras. Mr. Mardi Gras came back last weekend and won. And I think that even though it was on polytrack and going back to turf, but if you look at her his turf form back at Gulfstream and at Keeneland on the poly, just very consistent. So I'm going to take Nicky Sandcastle a little bit of an upset here. Guys Reward's going to get some play. Silver Max is going to get all the play, but he's been off since November, so I'm going to say that he's going to need a race. So I'm going to take Nicky Sandcastle over Regally Ready and Silver Max.
I'm going to take a potential up-and-comer, a potential rising star, Free World, for Tom Amos, who is 35% with horses second time off a long layoff like this one. And I like that this horse, in his 4-year-old debut, produced his highest buyer and showed some promise last year in lesser company, certainly. But I like that Corey Lannery takes the ride here, really good on that turf course at Churchill, and I'm guessing he probably had other options in here, and he's on Free World. So I'm going to take Free World to upset Silver Max, and then I'll use Villandry the 6th and Regally Ready the 8 in exactas, but keying off the 2 Free World. A couple of graded stakes on the Belmont card. Early on the card, the 4th race is the Grade 1 Mother Goose for 3-year-old fillies at a mile and a 16th. They took this out of the pick 6 because there is such a heavy favorite in here. Can you beat the Oaks winner Untapable?
Oh, I don't think so. That's why they moved it to race 4. And, the Mother Goose is a very prestigious race. And I think all these horses are trying to get the place money because Untapable, last 3 buyers, 100, 106, 107. Won in Kentucky Oaks by 4.5. Got a little rest since May 2nd. Can't see him beating Untapable, but I'm going to do a cold exacta. I think it's Untapable over Stop Charging Maria, who was pretty impressed in the Black Eye Susan, but there's a big difference in class edge. Black Eye Susan used to be a great race, but now between the Oaks and that one, there's no question that the Oaks is a much better race, and I'm going to take Untapable over the Black Eyed Susan winner. And exacta may pay $4.
I'm going the same kind of direction in terms of just not making a win play as just a straight exacta, and I'm going to take Untapable over House Rules, the one who I actually picked in the Acorn on Belmont Day. Untapable, if she were coming back on short rest off two lifetime top buyers, I could maybe see her, maybe bouncing, and but even if she regresses, she's had plenty of rest. Even if she regresses into the high 90s, she'll still win this. So I'm going to take Untapable over House Rules, who I think ran a little better than it looked sixth in the Acorn, way back, and I think they can be a little more aggressive with her, keep her a little closer. Second start off the layoff for Alan Jerkins, and she gets an extra 16th of a mile in distance versus what she ran in the Acorn, and hopefully, maybe that inflates the price just a little bit, and you get a 2-1 exacta that I don't know, 20. It plays somewhere in the 20s, maybe. I don't know, maybe a little better. I doubt it. But on 2 Untapable, I just can't pick against her either. Ninth race is the Grade 2 New York. Fillies and Mares on the turf at 4 and up, and the distance 1.25 miles. Here you got Riposte, who was really good last time, stretching out to one of these longer distances and really kind of broke through. Figure she's probably going to be the favorite in here for Mott. I'm going to try to beat her with Tannery. I just thought last race for Riposte, everything was so much her own way with an incredibly slow pace, and just everything broke in her favor. So since everything went her way, I'm going to try to beat her at a shorter price this time with Tannery. 27% second off this kind of layoff for Goldberg. Castellano Rides is real appealing to me. And then the one post she's really well drawn and has run well at Belmont before. So I'm going to go with Tannery over Riposte, and also use Tannery with Inimitable Romane. What about you?
I'm going to take Inimitable Romane because I didn't pick her in the Bewitched race here at Keeneland, and she beat me at 14-1. And it cost me a whole lot of money. And very impressive in that race because I didn't think she had a shot, and she got up right at the wire after being just stuck behind horses. So that was a great race at 1.5 miles. Now she shortens up to a 1.25 miles. Never been this distance, but she has run well at Belmont before. So I'm going to take her in a little bit of an upset over Riposte and Tannery, maybe Viva Raffaella, who also ran in the Bewitched here at Keeneland. So Gathering, you can make a case. This is a good race, even though it's only 6 horses. It's a nice race, and I'm going to take Inimitable Romane, hoping everybody jumps on Riposte. I'm like you. It was a perfect trip last time for Rosario and Mott, and I don't think she'll get that perfect trip again.
Several other interesting stakes opportunities around the country, including Prairie Meadows, where they have, I think, 3 interesting races. The Oaks for fillies. They have the Cornhusker. But we're going to take a look at the Iowa Derby, their 8th race for 3-year-olds, Saturday night, 1 mile and a 16th. And you got a horse like Vickers in Trouble that ran in the Derby, Louisiana Derby winner coming back in here. Embellishing Bob, they got moved up for the win in the Derby trial. Where did you land in the Prairie Meadows Iowa Derby?
Yeah, I landed on Embellishing Bob. The Derby trial was very impressive. He got moved up over by Aaron, who came back and won the Woody Stevens, and then Embellishing Bob didn't run a step in that race. And I thought he'd run a lot better, and just didn't get off well. And now going to Prairie Meadows and drawing inside, Hernandez is a rider who rode him to his win in Derby trial. So I think that sets up well for the horse to get a good trip. The other Vickers in Trouble hasn't run since the Derby, and the Derby was a disaster after the Louisiana Derby win. That he was very impressive, and if he runs back to that, he wins this race. But I got to believe that he's going to need a race and may not be at his peak. Jessica Starr has a shot, and the other horse I like at a price is Charge Now. Bill Mott's the only horse only raced 3 times, and at Gulfstream and Belmont, shipping him out to Prairie Meadows to try to get a piece of this Grade 3. So I'm going to take Embellishing Bob. I'm going to kind of pull for Vickers in Trouble. I really liked him. If you remember, after Louisiana Derby, I thought he had a shot in the Derby and just didn't run. So hoping Vickers in Trouble runs well, but taking Embellishing Bob with my money.
Well, I'm going to go with a bit of a creative ticket here because I like Embellishing Bob and Vickers in Trouble. And they're both early speed types. And if they come in 1-2 in any order, it's not going to pay much. So I'm going to bet that one of those two wins, and the other one maybe succumbs to the pace battle, and look for a price to fill out the exacta. So I'm going to take Embellishing Bob and Vickers in Trouble 1-8 over 4 horses that I think will be running late, and hope that the highest price of these gets second. Smack Smack the 4, Rustlin' the 2, the 5 Charge Now, and the 3-6 Spot, who actually picked in the race that he ran in up at Pimlico. And Jessica Starr certainly merits attention, but I don't think the price is going to be great, so I'm just going to try the 2 speed horses I like, betting one of those will win, and then look for a late-running price horse to hopefully get second. So 1-8 over 2, 3, 4, 5. 1-8 over 2, 3, 4, 5, and kind of a unusual ticket there for me in the Iowa Derby. Again, fund your Keeneland Select account, so you've got an opportunity if you're out on the golf course or vacationing that you can get a bet down. But if you're home, head out to Keeneland for simulcasting. It's in the equestrian room, and some neat specials and contests from time to time, right, Jim?
Yeah, we got a contest this Friday night with Churchill and Santa Anita races. It's Churchill's last Friday night of the year. And we've got a band on Friday night called Off the Clock, and they're going to play from 6 to 9. And we've fixed up the North Terrace patio with 12 new flat-screen TVs out here. We're also going to have the big screen on above the patio that we use during live racing. So if you're listening to this before Friday night, you can come on out. Saturday, we'll have simulcasting all day, all the way through Santa Anita's big card. And so we get through about 8:30 on Saturday night. So whatever you got planned for the weekend, if you can work us in at Keeneland, we'd love to have you, and it's a great place to come on the weekend.
A lot of fun. Check it out. And we'll be back next week, a big day at Belmont for July 4th weekend, and we'll take a look at those races and more next week here on the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.